and welcome to a new episode of Marinara Monday. What is Marinara Monday, you may be asking? Well, it's where I get super stony baloney, research something that I find intriguing, and tell y'all my findings. So, if you haven't seen the previous episode, please go ahead and check out the link in my description, as all of this shit links together. And to be honest, it's just all really interesting. So yeah, go ahead and check out my sources while you're at it. Here's a quick recap of the previous episode.
We're going to be diving into the sarcophagus, what the fuck it is, and what it does. The sarcophagus is a structure that secures the location of nuclear reactor 4. This sarcophagus is used to contain any radiation that may radiate out and also prevents any environmental factors from affecting the reactor. Construction of the sarcophagus has started just 24 days after the disaster.
Liquidators. The name sounds rather daunting, and that's because it is. The term liquidators was coined from the Russian verb that means to eliminate. The Liquidators was the name given to the vast variety of individuals that helped with the Chernobyl disaster. Directly or indirectly, these individuals helped with the cleanup, evacuation of families, establishing new towns for evacuees, building dams and filtration systems, decontaminating areas, and most importantly, building the sarcophagus that encompasses Reactor 4 of Chernobyl. There were approximately 700,000 liquidators by 1991 in total, including firefighters, miners, and soldiers. These individuals are considered heroes for their efforts that ended up preventing the disaster from getting any worse. Unfortunately, their efforts did not come without any repercussions, especially for those that were there during the first 24 hours of the disaster. Approximately 1,000 individuals received doses of radiations as high as 500 millisieverts. That equates to 5,000 chest x-rays. This high dosage of radiation can trigger acute radiation syndrome. If you've been chilling with us for this long, you know that I've covered what acute radiation syndrome does to the human body in episode 10 of Marinara Monday. If not, well then, what do you know? Well, go check it out. Some crazy shit. Some radiation can really mess you up. Anyways, Ivan, a firefighter and liquidator who survived the experience, remembers after about 40 to 50 minutes of fighting, there were 2 more explosions. There was a big black cloud followed by an intense blue light. Then a ball of fire covered the moon. I fell sick and fell unconscious. I woke up in the hospital in Moscow with 40 other firefighters. At first, we were joking about radiation. Then we heard that a fellow comrade had begun to bleed from his nose and mouth, and his body turned black and he had died. That was the end of the laughter. Now, you may be wondering, if this is what is happening to human beings, what is happening to the animals that are freely roaming this area and has no one to evacuate them? Well, part of the initial cleanup was to go through all of the abandoned streets and unfortunately unalive all abandoned strays as well as pets. But many of these strays as well as pets managed to get away. These stray dogs initially didn't seem to survive this area for long, especially since pine trees withered away and many insect species disappeared as they could not survive the highly radioactive soil. Surprisingly, these stray dogs' descendants, the dogs studied were the wild grandpups of the initial strays, have been found to have considerably normal amounts of radiation in their bodies. Even more confusing is how low levels of lingering radioactive material from the disaster affects the plants and animals around Chernobyl today. The Chernobyl exclusion zone is essentially a living library, with the area being closely monitored for any genetic anomalies which have been found in fruit flies in the area, but seemingly not in many mammals. This finding has been quite baffling, with the exclusion zone becoming almost like an oasis of wildlife. If I am not mistaken from this article, The Tree Project, funded by the Natural Environment Research Council in 2017, placed 84 trail cameras at random for 12 months in order to catch any footage of wildlife. They had found that many mammals, as well as birds, had come back to the exclusion zone, now calling it their home. Mammals including, but not limited to, the European bison, the red fox, and the raccoon dog. This is all very unexpected turn, as it is contrary to all of movie and media you will see about Chernobyl's exclusion zone. But not contrary to belief, though, there is an elephant within the exclusion zone. Specifically, an elephant's foot, or more like something known as the elephant's foot. But alas, we're at the end of this video. If you want to hear more about what the heck is up about the elephant's foot, check out the next episode of Marinara Monday. And if you haven't checked out any of the previous Marinara Mondays, I suggest you go ahead and go check it out. It's pretty cool. Anyways, much love, my family and friends. Stay safe. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.